I'm gonna start playing music here until I get like a song out of you guys, because you guys take forever. But let's play a little bit of Iranian music. How about some Iranian music? These uncivilized, savage Iranians. Let's hear some of their music. Take me back to the Persian Empire. We have to make Persia great again, everybody. Let's take me back to the Persian Empire. Is this Iranian or Islamic music? I don't know. What are the lyrics for it? I don't even know what it's saying. I like how it sounds though. But what are the lyrics for this? I don't even know. Composer. What's the name of this song? Group leader, composer. I don't know. I don't know what it's saying. Ashq Parda in. By the way, the Iranian guy who sings this song looks like he could be from freaking Texas. Just to show you guys that the Iranians are not Semitic. They're actually Indo-European. Dude, look at this guy's face. This dude could literally come to Texas, and if he had a southern accent, nobody would ever suspect that he's Iranian. Nobody would ever suspect that this dude is Iranian. Look at this guy's face. Doesn't he look like he could be from like Missouri? They're not even Semitic people. They're Indo-European people. A lot of them got Arabized, which is why you see them look kind of Middle Eastern. But this dude is definitely not one of them. His ancestors are just pure Iranian. That guy's from Austin. This guy works in tech. He works in a computer company in St. Louis in Austin, Texas, somewhere. Like this is not even Middle Eastern. This guy doesn't look Middle Eastern. Just shave the beard off of him, dude. He looks like he works in tech. I've seen that guy. It's Dan from Local IT. Yeah, exactly. The best music is when you don't understand the lyrics. I don't want to understand the lyrics. That's the thing. I just want to hear emotion and good rhythm. It's weird how conservatives love Greece and hate Persia like it's the pre-Muslims. When the Greeks persecuted God's people and the Persians were the only empire to help. The Persians, I think the Greeks were worse than the Persians in some ways. What if he moved from Texas to Iran? Oh, well, I mean, if he speaks the language, he could fit in perfectly, right? But this is proof that the Indo-Aryans, they came from Iran, and then they went eastward to India, and then they just took over India. Indians and Iranians are related. You could put this guy in Lowe's and have him work in the power tools department. Like, hey, lumber, put him in lumber. Yeah, we need you to do an inventory. How much wood do we have? There was another one that I found here that was really good. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on a second. There was one that was really good. It was an Iranian song. I'm going to play your guys' music. Don't worry. I just want to show you guys some Iranian music. Hold on a second. Oh, man. Where is it? This one here. This one's really good. I love this song, by the way. This song is fire. This song is awesome. This is an Iranian, a real classic Persian song. He does not look anything like Patrick Bet David. Patrick Bet David. Yeah, that guy doesn't look anything like that guy. He is from Missouri. I've seen him. Blah blah blah. What if he moved? Okay, I already read all this. Got some serious rhythm in this song. Like there's some serious rhythm going on here. They got some fire worshipping shit, like something straight out of Herodotus' histories. Looks like something that Herodotus would describe how the Persians would worship fire. But that's what this looks like fire worship, dude. There's like, this is some ancient music. This has to be pre-Islamic. See, everybody talks about Jewish composers, like the Jewish composers are the best. Dude, I don't think Israel has anything on Iran when it comes to music. Nothing. I have never in my life seen a single Israeli composer. I've never heard of a single Israeli composer. Oh, I've heard of one. I've never heard of one. I've never heard of a single Israeli composer who can make anything close to this. Then the Muslims came, saw this, and said, time to stop the fun. Yep, that's right. I'm just imagining, like, when you read the Bible, how Daniel describes how the Persians had this huge orchestra for the king, and it describes their instruments like dulcimers and table harps and all drums and all this stuff. This is how I imagine seeing it. Like when you watch these like TBN Christmas Christian movies, they have some white guy playing a guitar, and they're like, "Yeah, this is Persian music, dude. This is real ancient Middle Eastern music. This is classical Iranian music, stuff they were making before Islam. This is how it was when they were invading Greece, when King Darius was walking the earth, King Cyrus was walking the earth, Cambyses, Queen Esther was around. Like, this is what they were listening to, dude. This is not bullshit. They don't mess around over there in Iran when it comes to music. Let's hear some more of this. And you could just imagine like people listening to this stuff in ancient times. And the thing also is that Iran has this capacity to be a regional power. It's already a regional power, but I think it's actually going to get more powerful. I really believe that. I think Iran is going to get more and more powerful. And the sense of being Iranian, like pride of being Iranian, is really going to be shown to the world. Like Iranian pride, I think, is going to become a big thing in the discourse of foreign affairs and current events and things like that. You're going to be seeing more and more of it, and you can see it in this music. you can see that Islam was never really able to destroy Persian culture. It was never able to fully get rid of it. All music from the Middle East is from pre-Islamic times, since Islam bans music in Mesopotamia. That's correct. Yeah, that's correct. I agree with you. Theo, that Persian guy you recommended to listen to has a video on the origins of Greek and Middle Eastern music. Yep, that's correct. I've seen some of it. Yep, absolutely. Fadia, I like his channel. I really like his channel. It's really fascinating stuff. And, I think that here's the thing is that we look at Iran and we're like, oh, Iran, that the Middle Eastern shithole. You're absolutely wrong. You can see cities in Iran that look just as good as European cities. I mean, really metropolitan centers. You find them in Iran. I don't know. Iran is probably, if I had to guess, Iran is probably safer to live in than the United States. Like in the U.S., we have crime and robberies and mass shootings and all sorts of crazy shit. I think if you were to go to Iran, you would probably feel a lot safer than you would in like a place like Chicago. And they do have a sense of culture there. They do have their own aesthetics, their own artwork. It is very, very fascinating to see. Let's listen to more. And there's the yodeling, right? They had this yodeling over there, and it makes you wonder. I mean, listen, Indo-Iranian culture, the Indo-Iranian language is related to Sanskrit. Sanskrit is related to pretty much all the languages of Europe, with the exception of Finnish. And you can see yodeling in Iran just like you can see yodeling in Germany. This is real. This is true. You can look into this. And it makes you wonder where European music comes from. It makes you wonder if there is a relation between classical Iranian and classical European music, or classical folk European music. Very fascinating stuff. Rocking it with that guitar.
خروشی برآمد از آتشکده
I don't know what he's saying, but I like it. I like that guitar. I like the rhythm. I like the intensity of it. It's very nice.
خروشی برآمد از آتشکده.
Nice. There's that fire. There's that fire worship that Herodotus was talking about.
خروشی برآمد از آتشکده.
That is some serious yodeling. The way that he goes from like one octave or whatever you call it to another, like one pitch to another, is very impressive. That is some seriously clean yodeling. And you listen to German yodeling, ain't got shit on the Persians. German yodeling ain't got a damn thing on the Persians, man. They know yodeling. I think that the Germans were basically like the ancient Iranians that nobody wanted around. That's what I think. Now, if you read the Prose Edda, which is like one of the old medieval Scandinavian texts that talk about the ancient history of the Scandinavians, you will read that Odin originally was a man who owned a lot of land in the Caucasus Mountains in Turkey. So part of the Caucasus Mountains is actually in Turkey. That's where Odin lived. Now, if we look at a map, right? So let's look at a map, Turkey, Iran map. We can kind of see where the Germanic peoples popped up based on the Prose Edda. So right there, so the Caucasus Mountain, let's see, Turkey, hold on. Let's see, Turkey, Caucasus map. Let's check this out here. So Caucasus is like right up here, Armenia, all that region. So according to the Prose Edda, can you guys see this? Oh, shit. Yeah, according to the Prose Edda, so let's look at this map here. Google kind of sucks right now. Like, you can't really look at images that well. So that's actually not bad. Okay, this is pretty good. So according to the Prose Edda, Odin, the god of the Vikings and the ancient Germanic peoples, originally was a man who owned a lot of land, very powerful, and he lived according to the book, it says that he lived in that Caucasus region of Turkey, Anatolia, where a lot of the Indo-European peoples lived. So he lived like right up here somewhere, right? So here's the Caucasus Mountains. He lived right around here somewhere. Iran ain't that far away, by the way. Iran's over here. So Odin was hanging out around here somewhere. And then it says in the Prose Edda that he just went upwards. So he went upwards. So he went up north, up to like Russia and things like that. And that actually makes sense, because when you look at the like these ancient Indo-European cultures from archaeology, you will see archaeological, what's the word for it? You will find like relics from archaeology or ancient items, ancient burial grounds from Indo-European cultures in archaeological digs found in southern Russia, up in the middle of Russia, Ukraine, Belarus. You find them in these areas. And you also find ancient Indo-European architecture in Turkey and things like that. So this actually makes sense. And he went upwards. So I'm guessing he went up to Russia, and then he just continued upwards until he eventually hit Scandinavia. And the Germans weren't actually around. Like, the Germans weren't in Germany as we know it at this time. The original inhabitants of Germany were actually Celts. They were a Celtic people. The Germans actually came from the north. They came from Scandinavia southward down to Germany. So really, these Germanic peoples, they originally came from this part of the world. They came from that part of the world where you have Iran, Turkey, the South Caucasus meet up, North Caucasus meet up. That's where they originally were. They also were in the rest of Anatolia, and they just went up northwards. So my guess is that the Germanic peoples, when they were living in the Caucasus, they were kind of seen as like the backwoods people, like those barbarians up there in the north type of thing. And I don't think they were very much welcomed. I don't think they were liked very much, because, you know, why else would they have gone up northwards, all the way up to Sweden? They just kept traveling. So they were like the backwood yodelers. Like, their yodeling wasn't that good. It was inferior. They didn't have the classical culture, that sort of thing. Then they went up north. That is my opinion on that. I have a Damascus knife with similar motif like those. Whoa, wow. Yeah, a lot of Persian influence all over the Middle East, especially in Iraq, Syria, things like that. I like the Persian shirt. Awesome. Theo, I love this music, even though I don't know what they say. Fire is the one God, may he burn 1,000 babies. Yeah. Theo, the archaeological word is called material culture. Yeah, I'm not sure. It's like relics or archaeological remains. You use the term material. Yeah, we can use material. That's fine. So many invaded distant worlds with sword and axe in the name of Odin. Yeah, there was a lot of invasions that went on. And what we know now is that these Indo-European peoples, they traveled all the way. They were called the Viziana people or something like that. I don't remember exactly, but they were like this ancient Indo-European people. They came in from southern Russia. So it's very fascinating, because I read this book years ago by this Indo-ologist from Finland. And he did a whole book. It was called The Roots of Hinduism. It's a super fascinating book. And in this book, The Roots of Hinduism, he talks about where do the Indo-European peoples come from. And he concluded that, based on archaeology, he concluded that they came from southern Europe. So over here where my mouse is, over here, that's southern Russia. So sorry, he says that they came from southern Russia. So they came from southern Russia, basically near, adjacent to the South Caucasus and Turkey, Iran, all that. They came from this area, southern Russia, and they just kept going north. This is what this book concluded, that they just kept going north. That actually coincides with what it says in the Prose Edda. It says right there very clearly in the Prose Edda that Odin was living pretty much in that region, the Caucasus, that is adjacent to southern Russia, and he kept going up north. So it's very fascinating to see how old texts that we consider mythological actually reflecting what is found in the archaeological data. That is super, super fascinating, guys. I love this kind of stuff. Anyway, let's go back to Iran.
برآمد از آتشکده که بر تخت اگر شاه باشد زده همه پیر و برنا.
Somebody in the comments said something that is not entirely true. Celtic people are from Scotland. Celtic people were in Spain, they were in France, they were in England, they were in Ireland, they were in Scotland, they were in Germany, they were in Austria. Celtic people were found all throughout Europe. In fact, when you read Julius Caesar's account of his conquest of Gaul, he says that it's very fascinating. I didn't know this until I read Julius Caesar. The Celts of England would actually militarily support the Celts in Gaul, in what is today known as France. So the Celts in England were like, hey, our people are being invaded by Romans down south. Let's help them. That is actually the reason why Julius Caesar invaded England. Julius Caesar invaded Britain because he wanted to stop the military support that the British Celts were giving to the Gaulish Celts. Very fascinating stuff. Very fascinating.
یکایک ز گفتار او نگذری نخواهیم برگاز حاک را مرون اشتهاد و شناپاک را نخواهیم برگاز حاک را مرون اشتهاد و شناپاک را نخواهیم برگاز حاک را
I love this part here. It's a really nice transition point where he kind of calms down, but then he returns back to the same movement, but with more intensity. Listen to this.
ببردن ضحاک را بسته خار ببردن ضحاک را بسته خار به پشت هیونی برافکند زار بیاورد ضحاک را چون نوند به کوه دماوند کردش.
I don't know what he's saying, but I like it. Baku. It sounds nice. Israel Project is trying to promote British Israelism, and I'm not going to stand for it because it's complete bullshit. He says Celtic people are the tribe of Dan. If that were the case, the Celtic peoples would have been speaking a Semitic language in antiquity. They were not. They were speaking an Indo-European language. So if you're going to tell me that the Celts were of the tribe of Dan, please show me, demonstrate to me why in the hell they were speaking an Indo-European language. Because Gaelic is an Indo-European language. Good night, Robbie99. I feel like one of those guitarists looks a bit like Alex Jones. Yeah. Also, they were Celts, by the way, in Turkey. The Celts were all over the place. They were all Galatia. They were the Galatians that Paul spoke to. Those people were living in Anatolia, and they were Celts. The drummer, by the way, who's going to pop up in a little bit, is epic. Let's just watch him.
از او نام ضحاک چون خاک شد جهان از بد او همه پاک شد از اون نام ضحاک چون خاک شد جهان از بد او همه پاک شد.
Look at this drummer. Couldn't this guy be your grandpa? Dude, this is your freaking like alcoholic hard ass grandpa who lives in the woods. He looks 100% European. You could put him in Austria somewhere. Scotland. Easily he could fit in as a European because he is an Indo-European. He's an Indo-European. That's what he is. Let's listen more. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. That dude looks like my landlord. Yeah, exactly. Boudica, Queen of War. Oh, yeah, fascinating. Don't worry about it, Israel Product. We're not here to be right or wrong. We're just having a discussion. Yeah, the dude looks like he could be like living in the woods somewhere. That drummer guy looks like Teddy Roosevelt. These are Indo-Europeans. We're back to the fire worship.
تو داد و دهش کن فریدون تویی.
This part is actually my favorite part of the song. I love this solo. It's just an instrumental solo, and it just sounds so epic. Anyway, guys, yeah, Gaza, I think Iran, I think for too long people have been underestimating Iran. I think eventually Iran is going to take part in the slaughter of Israel. I think I think in a war between Iran and Israel in the future, I think the Israelis are going to lose. Eventually, I think they're going to lose. And I think the Iranians are going to be like, they're basically going to be like the original Nazis. Like if the Germans, are our Aryan brothers, were the original Aryans, they're going to start their own little Nazi regime and they're going to have a Holocaust. The singer is so expressive. Yep, absolutely. Do you ever feel like every culture around the world in all times looked to the past for greatness? Yep. I think it's because all peoples have an inbuilt memory of the garden and wish to go back. That is a very fascinating point, and that is something that I've thought about. I've thought a little bit about, yeah. But I actually never thought of it in that way. I'll be honest with you, yeah. I never thought of it in that way. That we're actually I've never made this point. I'll be honest with you, I've actually never thought of this. Because initially, what I was thinking of was, I actually said some time ago that I think the reason why we love gardening is because subconsciously we want to go back to the Garden of Eden. I've said that, but what you just said I've never thought of. That's really fascinating. Yeah. Anyway, that's a masterpiece. So let's get to your guys' music.